Hello, farmers. How is everyone doing for a Thursday? Back at New Hope. I think the last stream I did was last Saturday, so it's been a moment. Had to refresh my memory of what was going on here. At least I knew when I came in that in the end of the last stream, we went ahead and created this field over here. We got Franco in the forward. He's putting down some lime in this beautiful weather. And while he's been doing that, I've been kind of trying to think of what I want to plant and where I want to plant for this upcoming season. I think I got it all figured out. For the month of March here, we just got to wait for Franco to finish liming up this field. I'm going to go sell some lettuce that we have to get some money in the bank account because we're not far off from when the lettuce was the best price. So let me jump into our Deutz. We're going to go do that. I think in that field there, we're going to be planting poppy. That'll be planted in June, I think it is. It's either May or June. The field over there on the other side of that shed, I think that's going to be the corn. And in the other two fields, not sure which one, but you know, both fields are about the same size. We're looking at sunflower and sorghum. I had a look, I was like, I think the horses might need some oats coming up, but I can feed horses sorghum, so that will work. Hello, Crystal. Thanks for dropping on in. Hope you're having a good Thursday. So at least that's the plan for now, going forward. Let's go ahead and put our soil sampler away. Let's see. Where do I want to put that, honestly? I think in the back is going to be best. Yeah, last stream, in case you missed it for New Hope, we sold a lot of grain throughout the winter. The lettuce, of course, we sold that. So we bought that land, created that field, and we got the farmyard kind of started. It's there. Hello, Calvin. I'm not too bad for a Thursday. Thank you for asking. Oh, wait, I got silage bales? Are those got to be ready. I wouldn't have put them on there if they weren't ready. Silage. Yes, they are ready. All right, so I got some silage bales there, too. And probably should check on the greenhouses to see if they need water or anything. The dolly is kind of facing this way here. See how long it takes us to plant 4 fields this year. Should be able to sneak in here and be able to grab these pallets. Hello, David. Hello, Sirwell. Thanks for joining us. So a little bit of hail to start the day. I might be getting hail where I'm at sometime during the stream today. Got a cold front coming through, and they're forecasting some thunder showers today where I'm at, which I'll be very happy to see. Well, not the thunder showers in general, but that just usually means cooler weather will be coming on through. All right, 74,000 liters of lettuce. Let's go sell that. See how much money we get. Oh, got my head turned around. There we go. That's better. Well, I mean, it's great to be back on New Hope, but a little bit of me also wishes that the Eric's Home storyline was still going on. I enjoyed playing that game greatly. Where's that bridge? There it is. Just going right to the farmer's market with it. I assume that's where it needs to go. Hello, John. Welcome. Hope your Thursday has been well. I would guess 74,000 liters of lettuce. That's going to push us over 100 grand in the bank account. I mean, I guess I can't complain too much about Eric's Home. That was 10 hours of gameplay. And I think I did overall rather well in finding most of the notes and most of the collectibles. Those are about the only achievements I did not get on the game, which is finding all the notes and all the collectibles. That's it. Want to unstrap that, or... Hello, straps. Why are the straps not unstrapping? Alright, I'll do it that way. There we go. Alright, so we're up to 118,000 in the bank account. Eric's Home was a great game. I hope you can do more of the same. I'd like to. But those games... I mean, if anyone knows of other games that have come up recently, or maybe ones that I may have missed, feel free to let me know, because those type of games I do like, with some good storylines. I actually had a peek at A Plague Tale: Innocence just when the last time I played those games. It's been 2 years since I played those two, but I definitely am going to wait for when the third one gets released in 2026 before I dive back into those. We'll do both storylines before we get to the third story on that one. I remember the baseline of the story, but a lot of the stuff I probably forgot. Mechanics and all that kind of stuff. Alright, so we're up to 118,000. Alright, so we sold the lettuce. The only thing I got left to do is wait for Franco to finish putting the lime down in that field. Then we can get on to April, where we're going to be planting 3 of the 4 fields. The poppy is going to have to wait until June. I think I can put the time scale up to ×5. Will be fine. While we're waiting for Franco to do what he needs to do, we're going to go ahead and grab our water tanker and make sure our greenhouses are plentiful on the water. A little bit more. There we go. And no surprise, that one's full, because that's where the water tanker was. Water going in. Water still going in. Okay. Water going in here. And then, yeah, we'll top off even the small one. That should be making the carrots and the parsnips for the horses. Oh, yeah, which, by the way, today, that should also be taking place where I think we'll be selling our first set of horses. All right, let's go top this off with some water. And we'll put it at one of the greenhouses. I'm not familiar with... the name rings a bell for that map, but no, I haven't looked at any maps, because I got this map that we're on. I also got Shamburgo I'm on. And both series have really just got started, so I'm not really looking at maps currently. Put it into Google and find 30+ games. I'm going to have to see... my lime spreader needs to be refilled. Things have just been really busy where in real life currently, so I kind of hope I can maybe get some time to look into something like that. Doing more games. There's another new game I want to try out. I won't be streaming tomorrow. I hope I'll be back to stream on Saturday. But there's a new game I want to give a try. It looks pretty good. Comes out next week, so we may be looking at another new game. Maybe just a one-off kind of a thing, I don't know. I need to get back into Roadcraft, which Roadcraft has had 2 updates. And one of them was kind of a major update since the last time I haven't been in Roadcraft now for what, 2 weeks? Seems like 2 weeks. Should be able to do that. Alright, that should be all set. If I need more cash, I'll park this here so I know I got some silage bales. Where's the Ford? Yeah, someone left a comment that I should sell the Ford. It's holding me back. I wouldn't say the Ford's holding us back. The Ford is doing a pretty decent job. And just by selling this tractor, I'm not going to get another tractor by selling this with 370 horsepower for as cheap as I got it. Unless it were to come up for sale. And I like the Ford. The Ford is doing well. It just, a couple of times because of the gearbox, it lacks getting up to speed. But if you hire a worker for it, it seems fine. Wait, is that? No, that's fertilizer and seed. I was like, wait a minute, do I got lime there? Or should be using that? Nope. That's fertilizer and seed. So the next big purchase that we got for us here on New Hope is going to be the sawmill for $150,000. I don't need it till next year. So we'll just have to see how we get along throughout this winter. Or this spring, summer, fall, and then winter. The oak trees should be ready sometime, I would think next May, June. And see, when I'm driving the Ford in a field that's plowed, this thing just has a whole bunch of trouble. But if I hire a worker, not a problem. This is where, you know, I understand what they're saying, that the Ford holds me back somewhat, or I say somewhat. You just think with 370 horsepower, we shouldn't be hung back by furrows of a plow. Alright, let's go ahead and get this, and we will put you back on a worker. And they are good to go. Yeah, actually, while they're doing that, let's go ahead and we're going to grab these silage bales. Since I am waiting, I might as well go sell these too. So it's either next month or the month after is when our horses will be having their offspring. What we're going to do, because we have a full stable, I'm going to sell one of the horses and see if the horses have their offspring immediately, or is it something that's done at midnight. I'm guessing it's going to be done at midnight, which would kind of suck. And it may change the way that we do things. At least where the horses are concerned. I may put in a small stable to where I can just transport them in there. They can have their offspring, and I can just go ahead and put them right back, the offspring, into the main stable. When we plant in April, which is going to be just in a few minutes, the Case IH planter mod came out on the Mod Hub a couple days ago, I saw. And that is what we're going to be using to plant our corn, sunflower, and sorghum. The Ford is going to have to do that. It requires like 380 horse, and I think the Ford is 370. Now this should bring in like $15,000, I think, for the silage. Okay. Miscalculate. Oh, no, I know what I'm thinking. Yeah, that's correct. I usually get about $20,000 for a full. When I cut that entire field, and I was thinking it was for a full trailer, which I didn't have, so I was trying to calculate it. That my math was wrong there. Wrong in so many ways. I don't have anything leased, do I? I don't think I got anything leased currently. Oh, wait, I got the... I did not know I had that leased. Where the heck is that? Well, that kind of changes my plan. I think I goofed up. I think I probably have goofed up. I think I kept that last year thinking I owned it, and I don't own it. Well, I think I'll just return it, honestly, and I will get the Case IH planter. Stick with my original plan. I'll return that. I didn't know that was even on the farm, honestly. It's good to check those things. Yeah, I don't think I pre-planned and leased it to start planting for this spring. So I must have kept it all last year, which means I was paying fees on it quite a bit. Unless I was thinking I was going to plant oats. And maybe that's why I leased it. I don't remember. Okay, so it's not... Wait, where was that thing? If it's down at the store, then maybe I just did lease it for this month for planting oats. That's the wrong button. Is it down at the store? It is down at the store. So, okay, maybe I did lease it to plant oats. Alright, so instead of planting sorghum, I think I will plant oats. Enter vehicle. Alright, Ford, you got the field all limed up. And that's all of our fields spread with lime. All 4 of them. I know one thing, it's already like 4 or 5 degrees hotter today than what they said was going to be. And it's getting hot in my room, so I'm looking forward to the next couple of hours, the thunderstorms rolling on through. I did buy a pressure washer. I think it's over there by that shed. Well, I'm already this far with the lime spreader. Alright, we'll grab the Deutz. I guess I will go ahead and grab the drill and I'll plant oats. So instead of sorghum in one of the fields, I'll have oats. I got enough food for the horses to get through for the year, but, you know, getting into next year and waiting for harvest season next season, I may not have enough to go that far. I really need this hail to stop because I don't want to plant while it's hailing. I mean, I can, but of course that would mean hail damage. Let me fast forward time here until the hail is gone. It'll switch from hail to rain. Alright, still not yet. I don't want to be planting in the dark either. Oh, there we go. We got rain now. That's better. Well, it's one way to get your vehicle clean. Drive in the rain. I just remember leasing the Momentum drill, but it's there, so I must have. And yeah, we are going to be using that sawmill that's on the map. And I am thinking that when it comes time to cut down the oak trees... Oh, the blue color. Yeah, I do remember leasing it now. I mean, obviously I did, but just didn't recall it. When it comes time to cut down the oak trees, I'm hoping that our telehandler... I don't think it's going to be able to pick up the entire oak tree, but if I cut it in half, so instead of dragging it down, you can see the trees maybe off in the distance there. When it comes time to cut the trees in, instead of dragging them down with the winch like I usually do, maybe use the telehandler and pallet forks and maybe just pick it up and bring it on in. Hello, Panther Killer. Welcome. Hope you're having a good Thursday so far. Yeah, let me switch this to oats. I've already got this lease. If I just keep it overnight, I can plant the fields, and the other planter would cost me $16,000 to lease. And it will be pushing my Ford to its limit on planting. Oh, wait. Don't face that way. We're going over the bridge. Face the front. Alright, it's going to take a moment to use up all this stuff. One pallet at a time. What about that one? Do we not want to fill from that pallet? Oh, I'm definitely going to need some seed. Why is this going to make me fill up with fertilizer first? I never get the option to fill up with seed first. And it won't let me change it. Ah, there we go. Maybe, yeah, if I back in first, I think the seed tanks are in the back. That's when it'll register that first, probably. That's be my guess. Anywho's. Over to here. Drill has pushed me down the hill. Alright, in go the oats. At least that's the plan. So this was a cornfield last year. The way the light is going to be kind of focused when I come back around. Also, if you've been following along with the series of Shamburgo, the episode that went out yesterday, I got a lot of comments on the grain mill, and currently it looks like we're going to be buying that grain mill. I don't think one person said not to. So hopefully when I get time over the weekend to record next week's episodes, we'll be buying the grain mill and bringing our grain there. Oh, I also got I did record Transport Fever's 2 episode for tomorrow. It's uploaded, I just forgot last night before I went to bed to get that pushed out, so you channel members could go ahead and watch it. Had a little bit of a struggle on that episode as I recorded it last night too. Learning how to get the cargo and passenger trains that go into the same platforms now. Is the nitrogen in this field? Why does it say like the nitrogen is looking good? I do have nitrogen in the field. Well, best not to ask questions. As long as the nitrogen level gets to where it needs to be for the oats, that's all that matters. And the soil's not out of date because it would kind of tell me up there. It knows as planting for oats and silty clay. That's probably one reason why it's not taking a whole bunch of fertilizer, because it's silty clay. Yeah, I do need to dive back into Roadcraft. Again, I don't think it's going to be any episodes this week or streams this week on Roadcraft. So probably next week at some point. And I think Saloon Simulator, I may... Because someone said we're just about at the end of that. So I may just do a recorded episode for that, because I don't want to try streaming Saloon Simulator and find out half hour in that that's the end of the storyline, which seems kind of weird, seeing that I got a lot of room still to refurbish up there. But maybe that's kind of like, if you just want to continue playing, you can. Yeah, so I guess I'll be keeping this drill overnight, and instead of using the Case IH, since I've already got it leased, which I did not know I had, I'll be planting the corn and the sunflower with this. Yeah, the furrows of the plow is what's making this a little bit more difficult than it needs to be. Ground deformation. Got to go over each little hump. So this, like, about year number 5 is what I think when I get to it, this farm is going to start really bringing in some cash, because we should have the sawmill up and going at that point. And at the beginning, yes, I'll be using the sawmill to help us earn some cash. And then once the farm gets really stable financially, we can start using the sawmill to start building some constructibles and start putting in a community around here. And once we get the community up and going, we can get the post office up and going. Which, again, I mean, as far as I can see, we're not going to be making a whole lot of money from the post office, but it will be something. Nice little mod for some role-playing. And I think that fits perfectly for what we're doing here in this map. Yeah, she struggles going up the hill, this Deutz, with this planter. I would say save up for the Voltra, but I'm using that on Shamburgo. I don't want to be using it here. As you can see, we're not using that much in seed, and fertilizer, not that much either. I'm trying to figure out, because corn, it was corn I had in this field, and corn is usually a crop that absorbs a lot of nitrogen. I'm trying to figure out why this field seems to have a good amount of nitrogen in it. I'm hardly using any for the oats. This is why I was going to use the Case IH planter. This is a 11 meter wide planter, and I think the Case IH one that came out in the Mod Hub a couple days ago is a 25. But not sure how the Ford would handle it because it's on its limit. And the Ford already has problems in fields that haven't plowed. So I'm not sure how would I handle this field. Looks like the rain is going to disappear and the sun's going to peek out. I still haven't downloaded, though, for the horses. If it works out to the fact that once I get an open spot in the stable by selling a horse, so I'm going to have to sell a horse that's got some offspring ready because I just want to test it. If we get an offspring right away, that's great. If it's going to only do it at midnight, then I'll just sell the horses when they're at their best value and not worry about the offspring too much. Because basically an offspring is worth 500 because that's what you buy them for. Come on, Deutz, get up that hill. Asking a lot of you to pull this up a hill in mud, basically, because it's been hailing and raining all day. This field would be soaked. Three, possibly four more passes, and we'll have it all complete. Boy, if this was cattles and crops from years ago, this tractor probably would be buried in the field right now, because it was moist. You know, we had moisture all day falling, hail or rain. Tractor would be buried in the field right now. And I'm thinking someday, not in FS25, but now that we got some ground deformation in the game, maybe the next version of Farming Simulator will have it to where we get mud problems where you can bury your tractor and get stuck. I know, you know, some players are going to love that, and other players are just going to hate it. So there's got to be an option that we can turn on or off. Of course, you know me, I'll probably have it turned on. The only thing I'll have turned off are stones. All right, last pass for the oats. And we don't have to worry about weeds in this field because we did plow it. Being corn, we plowed it afterwards. All right, first field out of 4 planted for the season. Let me switch this over to sunflower, which I'm not planting this month because you can't. But that'll be what we plant next. So I'll just bring it right on over here. Yeah, so we have a look at the horses. 90%. What if I got a feeling like I'm going to wake up in April, they're going to be like at 98 or 99%. The horses are worth 14,700. A lot more than the base game, yes, because we are running the mod that increases the value of the horses, so they make it somewhat profitable. Sale page. Ah, yes, I do remember this. Nothing there that we currently need. I think I just heard Sam. Yep, there's Sam right there. Heard his little dog nose sniffing around in the pond water. Alright, we're going to go to bed in our lovely little hobo hut. Trigger's there somewhere. 8 o'clock sounds good. Rain is fine, hail not so much. Alright, so the forage harvester is still there, and that is a veggie potato kind of a trailer, which we don't need either. So we're all set there. And yeah, we did drop down to 96,000. That's fine. Oh yeah, the horses. Reproduction, 99%. Really, Giants, you could not... added like a 0.1% to the reproduction rate on horses. 99%. Or is it at 99% because I got a full stable and it won't go to 100%? Well, I won't really know until I get to the month of May. But we're going to be here for just a little bit in April. We got these sunflowers that we're getting ready to plant. And then, of course, we got the corn to get planted as well. I did check. And yes, sunflowers and corn can be harvested in the same months. Because I don't have a corn/sunflower header currently. So I'll have to lease one. But we should be able to get the harvest done in the same month. And as for the sunflower, that'll be sold just direct. I don't have a production building for it. The corn, we have the corn dryer. So we'll dry corn, of course. The oats that we planted is for the horses, and the poppy we're going to plant is just for selling direct as well. We did pretty good selling poppy last year. I think we had like 100 grand worth of poppy, and that was from the field in front of us. Yep, this is where the Ford and the Deutz struggle. Is just going up this hill here. We'll get up there. I also feel like changing the color of the UI, the user interface. It's been on orange for a little bit. I think I need to change that up. Let's go ahead and do that now, actually. Settings, additional settings, interface controls. I don't know. Let's go with... Let's go with red today for some reason. I'm not a fan of red, but we're going to go with red. I mean, that's a little bit of a dark red, but we'll go with it for now. Definitely different. I kind of like the blue color, but the problem is we get some new people in here. They see the blue color, they think I'm playing FS22, not FS25. Actually, that orange color I had, I do believe was the FS19 colors. So I may hire a worker to plant. After we get done with this, this needs to go over and we'll start planting the corn. That feels a little bit bigger, so I'll probably hire a worker to do that. And we may be selling the lettuce or something like that. We'll have a look to see what needs to be done around here. Contracts, which I think I've cut down trees for contracts. That's about it. I don't think I've done any field work yet for contracts. Hello, farmer. Welcome. Hope you're having a good Thursday. Appreciate you dropping on in. So this field will have weeds in it again next month. It's got weeds in it now, but we gotta wait for them to grow so we can see and spot spray them. I gotta say that slowly. See and spot spray. I mean, 3 miles an hour is not the greatest, but it is getting up the hill. It's kind of how I felt in Shamburgo in the last episode with the combine setup I got going on. And both situations have it going up a steep hill. Probably should look at the forecast, so there won't be much I'll be able to do about it, but we've been getting a lot of precipitation this spring. I'm wondering if there's not a tornado that might be in the forecast. So you can see our oats are looking good over there, as you would expect. I will still say this, though. I still like the Seasons mod from FS19. Because we still get it to be... I mean, when you plant a crop here, it's going to grow. As long as you plant in the planting season. And if it's not the planting season, it'll tell you that it can't plant it. With the Seasons mod in FS19, you still had to plant in the planting season for it. And you could plant, but if the temperatures were too cold, your crop may not germinate. And you may also, if it gets too cold overnight or whatever, you could have a very spotty field the next morning. How do I like this map? For what I'm doing here, I'm loving it. It's not a flat map. So, I mean, if you're looking for a really flat map, I mean, this does have flat areas. It's like both ends of the map are relatively flat. But you got like a little bit of a dip in the middle where a small stream goes through. And also, if you like to build up your own farm and create your own thing, then it's a really good map. It's a creator map, if you will, as I like to call them. There's no starting farm. I mean, if you start as a new farmer or whatever it's called, you do get like the field that's behind me, and that's about it. There's no buildings or anything. All the sell points are in one small area. As for forestry, there is trees on here, but they're not. It's not like a forestry map where it's all lodgepole or trees that you want to go in and cut down with a tree harvester. So keep that in mind. Although there might be parts of areas around here that could have that, but I haven't seen it myself. But I've never wanted to tell someone this is a good map, you should play on it, because I don't know what kind of style map you might be looking for. I can just tell you what kind of map it is and what it has to offer. There are a lot of people that don't like these type of maps where there's nothing on it. They want to play, and I'm just going to say Judith Plains on this one because that's a really done map, done over, where there's buildings everywhere, farms everywhere. They let you get in and just get started right away, where I'm more of I don't mind maps like that, but I want to build up my own farm myself. Occasionally. I shouldn't say occasionally. More often than not, I like to build up my own farms. But like Shamburgo, a series I just started, I think that's the first time in a long time to where I just took the starting farm and said, all right, that's what I'll start with. Hasn't taken me long to sell a lot of the equipment that we got started with, but the farm itself, I started with it. But yeah, this map here, I'm liking quite a bit. It's got 4 additional crops, which is poppy, rye, millet, lavender, and mustard. So it might be 5 additional crops that you can plant. Trying to think what else is on here that make it stand out a little bit more. Hello, Denard. Welcome. Hope you're having a good idea. Good Thursday. Sorry, you meant your recorded series. Oh, so you meant Shamburgo? Again, same scenario there on the map. It's not flat. The road structure takes the road structure there, I'm still learning my way. I know where things are on the map. It's a matter of learning what road gets you to where. That's about the only thing. But yeah, I'm loving that map so far. I don't have that much time on it as I do on this one, even though this may be like my 9th stream here on New Hope, maybe not even 9th. And I'm like 6 episodes in on Shamburgo, but yeah, I'm liking Shamburgo. Yeah, I'm not sure branding, what's up with the texture on the fields. You can kind of see I got like a striped, when you plant, you get like stripes on it. That is a little weird. But again, the person that did this map, this is their first map they've ever done, so it could be something that they overlooked or, you know, don't know how to do. I mean, heck, I don't know how to do it either. I mean, if you look at it at different angles, you don't really see it, but from above, you can see stripes in some areas, so... But overall, it doesn't bother me that much. I mean, I notice it, but it doesn't bother me that much. Alright, so the sunflowers are almost in. Get across the road and start planting the corn. Thought about maybe putting down some beehives, but then I don't know. We've done beehives, and taking care of the honey is not something I want to do. So yeah, unless we put down a lot of beehives, we're not going to be getting that much honey, and then money from it anyways. Honey sells okay, but it does take forever to get enough to make a profit on it. Yeah, I know someone's going to say, well, you get the bonus for if you plant the right crop next to the beehives. But I don't want to be stuck on planting canola, sunflower, and potatoes. Well, okay, forget the potatoes. Canola or sunflower next to those crop. Or next to the beehives. Alright, sunflowers completed. Alright, we'll rotate this over to corn. And we'll get a worker to plant that. I'll probably come back and take over at some point, but right now... Boy, this drill weighs a lot. I keep forgetting how much this pushes my tractors around when I hit the brakes. Alright, temporary course. Alright, field is selected. Generate. Oh no, field work. No, I didn't want to generate. I gotta see what we got here. 2 headlands, 3% overlap is fine. Yeah, generate that course. There we go. So this was poppy last year. Alright, they'll do just fine. Now let's grab the Ford. Let's see how much I got in lettuce. I just sold it, but you know, another month has gone, so we got $31,000 worth of lettuce. Still worth pretty good, 1,067 out of 1118. I mean, I really should be using the Ford to plant and the Deutz to be doing this, but yeah, the Ford and the planter just don't get along. Be a slow journey on down to the store, but I'm in no rush because it's going to take a while for that corn to get planted. Everyone say hello to the horsies as we drive on by. I do think their reproduction will go up to 100% with a full stable. 99%. I do think I remember that when I was on Solyndra in 22, that's what happened. Down into the fog. And stare at the screen till you find the bridge. We'll have a peek at our oak trees that we planted. It's been over a year. See if they hit the second growth stage yet. I don't know. I haven't read the patch notes from the last couple of updates that well to know if they've changed any of the tree growth. Also kind of hoping and driving the Ford in the rain that it would get cleaned. Problem is with our oak trees, they kind of blend into the background trees as well, so it's difficult to see what they're doing. Now, I don't think they have hit the second growth stage yet. It's the same. Trees on Michigan map doesn't seem to grow besides the one I plant. That's the way it always is. The only trees that actually grow are ones you plant. The ones on the maps do not. That's the way it's always been. All right, back up to 126,000, which is nice. You can see all the bushes moving around in the breeze during this little rainstorm that we're getting. I say little rainstorm. I don't know if it's how long it's going to rain for. Looks like our planter is already doing the second headland in that field, which is good. This is kind of curious the way the glass in the front is. Must have a good seam there. Don't see no water leaking in. And it looks like the dirt might be getting washed off a little bit, but I think I'll bring it over and we'll wash off with a pressure washer. All right, Denard, good look at the doctor's office. Yeah, we'll go give this a good rinse. Hello, Jill. Hope you're having a good Thursday. Appreciate you stopping on by. Maybe what we'll do as one of the Franks is planting the corn. Maybe I'll feed the horses. I don't think they're going to need much. And yeah, we'll rinse off the trailer. That might be more dirty than I thought it was. Hasn't been washed in 4 years. Oh, dude, get off the pressure washer. Should have known he was going to grab the darn thing. He always does. So again, this is going to be our main farmyard over here. A couple more sheds and who knows, maybe a production building here or there. course, over here we do have a shed, which is pretty much going to be the mowers for the bales, that kind of stuff, mostly. Yeah, that's good to see. I went down to sell lettuce, came back, and there's already a pallet sitting there for me. I did not check the manure, but I think the manure, we don't go through that much per month. So, yeah, that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. Actually, they're all fine. Is the corn? Yeah, we're still making some dry corn. I don't have much corn. No, it's taking all that corn there. Yeah, we got 40,000 liters of oats. So, yeah, planting oats again, which is a good thing. I do got a lot of straw, but we're keeping that for the horses. Yeah, I don't really have anything else worth of value to be looking at. I should be selling, so it's just going to be lettuce here on out until harvest season. Oh, yeah, the horses, do they require... I mean, they don't require anything. I thought I left hay bales in here, but looks like they may have gone through them. Open. Yes, all the bales are gone. Alright, we'll grab 3 more bales and bring them on in. How are we doing? I mean, I think we're doing fine on bales, but I may have to... Yeah, maybe not even this year. Let me grab from that stack, because that stack is... I pushed the baler kind of too far back. And it's kind of leaning this way, which is not great. I couldn't... Actually, by taking these off, I couldn't make this whole stack fall over. Well, everything is still standing upright, so that's good. Now I just need to wiggle my way into the stable. And maybe I'll grab some of their manure and start putting it into the greenhouses as well. So when putting bales in, you gotta really turn it in. That should work. Alright, then wiggle your way back out. Try not climbing the wall, that would be good. My beautiful wooden wall. Wait, how much manure do we got here? Almost 20,000 liters of manure. I think I can grab 2,500 per bucket. So that's about 8 loads. Now, how did the bucket get turned that way? Alright, so 3 greenhouses. We'll just take a bucket to each one. Yeah, now I got 4 greenhouses. Not too concerned about the small one. But that 1 bucket there is good for about 2.5 months for that greenhouse. So actually these horses are doing pretty good for manure. First 2 done. Well, I say done. I'll probably put 2 buckets total in each. Hopefully I left myself enough room in the third one, so I got the water tanker there. Then I suppose after I get this done, since the horses are kind of fed and the greenhouses are pretty much taken care of, I guess I'll jump back into the Deutz and we'll take over planting the corn. These greenhouses are keeping the farm afloat, keeping our head above water. Again, eventually, once the farm is making enough money elsewhere, I'll probably sell these greenhouses one at a time. Again, I'm trying to, of course I want to earn money, but at the same time I don't want to be earning so much so quick that it ruins the series. Dark Forest, that series there, that seemed to go by rather quickly. But what made that series go by quickly wasn't the production buildings themselves, but I think using the mod that increased the production rate up to 300% is probably what did it. I was still kind of shocked of how much raw wood sells for. Of course, we were selling a whole bunch of wood in that series because the sawmills that we had just really couldn't keep up with the amount of trees that we were cutting down. So I was selling just raw wood basically, and I was shocked at how much we were getting for it. Alright, so that should leave us with about maybe 4,000 or 5,000 liters of manure in the horse stable. And we'll just park this like right about here. Alright, let's see how we're doing over here. Not too bad. And we'll get rid of whoever was planting this corn, but we appreciate it. Again, I was going to use the planter that came out of the Mod Hub a couple days ago, the Case IH planter, but I did not realize I already had this one leased for planting in the springtime, so I could see myself using that planter in the future here. It'd be questionable though if either the Deutz is not going to be able to manage it. The Ford should be able to handle it until it gets to a slope, or if it's a plowed field, then it's going to be trouble. Alright. Not a good start when you make your first corner and you miss a little bit. So yes, we did lime all of our fields this past winter. So they should be good for a couple more seasons. And of course, using a direct drill that also does fertilizer as we plant. So fertilization should be pretty much right where it needs to be. Might actually get right into harvest season this stream. We still got the poppy field to plant though. And that field is a decent sized field, honestly. About the same size as this one. And I'll probably have to lease this particular drill right here to plant it. Might be cheaper to keep the drill 2 more months, because again, poppy I think is planted in June. Even though I'm not going to use it in May, if I just keep it 2 additional months, it's better to keep it 2 months probably, rather than return it and lease it again in June. I think the daily fee is going to be cheaper than releasing it. I should say lease it again, not releasing it, because that sounds like I'm releasing it. So this is going to be a lot of corn. Our corn dryer will do its best to process as much as it can before we sell the dry corn in December, but anything that's left over gets us pushed down to the next season. Yeah, maybe just by planting now again. Boy, I think I need a different. I mean, the Ford I thought would do what we needed to do, which it's mainly for transporting grain around. I was hoping it would also be able to do some more field work. But the gearbox, manual gearbox, is I think what most of the problem is. I may have to swap out tractor. The Deutz is still a good tractor for on the farm selling stuff, going back and forth. But I'm using the Deutz for all the field work still, just because it's performing better than the Ford. We'll have to probably look into getting ourselves a decent tractor. I mean, they're all decent in their own ways, but for what we're doing here, so like a 400 horsepower tractor, I guess the big Roy, you think that would do good. Isn't that like a 600 horsepower tractor for like 220,000? I think that's a manual gearbox as well. We think with the horsepower, it would just not have an issue. I mean, we got to see it a little bit on Dark Force. So I guess maybe having it here would not be bad. I think when I get done planting this, first off, I am going to look on this drill, see how much the daily fee is on this. I'm guessing like $1,000, $1,200, something like that. But if I'm also getting ready to go over the hour, which I'm probably have already. But at that point, I think I'll be splitting pennies and nickels and dimes trying to figure out if it's worth it returning it, leasing again, or just keep it. But we'll have a look. And then also look at the big Roy and see. I want to say it's 220,000 for that thing. But it may just have the same problem the Ford has. But I just hate getting rid of the Ford because I like the looks of the Ford. I like the sounds of the Ford. About 5 or 6 more passes, and then corn will be in. Oh, I'm up. Just about out of fertilizer, though. That's not going to make it. Just notice the forecast is saying it's cloudy out, but we still got rain. Alright, might as well turn that off. And gotta go get that fertilizer. And that field in front of us, that's what we're going to be putting the poppy into. That'll be our first crop in that field. We just got that this past winter. Alright, brake early with this seed drill because it weighs a lot. Yeah, just fill it on up. Again, that's a big field behind us, so I may have to put more into when I start planting in that field anyways. Starting to get some nice breezes coming through my window. Not cooling down my room much makes me feel cooler, but my room is not getting any cooler. Alrighty, let's get back right where we were. If it would let me steer. I may have to compare the weight also when I go and look to see how much the daily fee is on this planter. How much this one weighs compared to like the Case IH. Ah, the rain has stopped. Seemed like it's been raining, hailing the entire stream. It'll be almost perfect, but I don't think that's the way it's going to be. Again, I think the poppy plants in June. Are the oats ready in June or is that July? I think I'm getting mixed up with barley again. I think barley is ready in June. Because I could get a worker to plant the poppy as we're harvesting the oats, but I think oats are July. Something satisfying, always has been for me, is when I'm planting in a field like this with a direct drill, just watching like all the stubble or the leftovers from the previous crop, and also the weeds that's kind of like getting erased, and you get a nice little seed bed, looks nice and clean for at least a month. Sounds kind of weird to say clean when you're talking about soil, but it's got that clean look to it. And yeah, I'm still looking for that direct drill, that 12-meter wide direct drill coming out in the mod hub. I know this is 11, but I'm looking for like a direct drill to be more realistic, because this planter does everything, which is nice. It's nice to have one on the farm, because I know some people will be like, I don't want two drills. I don't want a drill and a planter. Just give me one that does everything. I just don't like the Novag. Is it Novag or Novak? But either one, whatever one it is, the base game one, the 9-meter wide one. I don't like that one for some reason. Doesn't fit my style. So you can see the course plate worker. Now, it's just because the settings I have. I know I got told quite a bit in FS22 and even back in 19. The corners, when they do the headlands and the corners, they can get the corners, but I don't worry too much about it. If I'm going by it, I'll cover it myself, which I kind of am, so we will do. But still, course play workers seems to do a lot better job than the base game. It's going to be a big corn harvest. But that will mean after corn harvesting, this field will need to be plowed. But we got the perfect machine for that. All right, last pass for the corn. The Horse Maestro, there's a regular one and a modded multi-fruit one. On the mod hub? A 12-meter wide? On the mod hub? It's got to be a direct drill, too. In case I didn't say that. I need my direct drills. I'll switch this over to the Poppy, because I think I'm going to be keeping this for 2 months. Poppy, where are you? There you are. I'll park it in the shed, though. We'll keep it protected from the elements. Let me just see here. Planters. Wait, where am I here? This planter weighs 14.5. 18.5. Okay, so it does weigh a little bit more. If I go to here, and if I hit lease, $1,000 a day, base cost of $2,100. Per hour is $2,200. How close am I for going over? What's my hour? What's my usage on this right now? 1.2 hours. So I've already just paid the extra hourly fees. So yeah, I'm going to keep it. I got another 0.8 hours before I get another hourly fee, and yeah, keeping it for 2 days, it's worth it. Poppy is in June, right? Yeah, oats are July, harvest in July. Poppy is in June. All right, so I can't plant that till June. So May is going to be a quick month. But we got the corn in. Everything's looking good there. Needs rolling. Yeah. Bite me on the rolling. And this will be planted with a poppy in a couple of months. What's my environmental score looking like on this map? 79. This field here is probably holding me back right now. Wait, how come I can't? There we go. 57 in this field. Right now, the only thing that's good is probably the soil sampling. Because I haven't taken care of weeds, I haven't direct drilled it, and it doesn't register the nitrogen or lime until we harvest it at least once. But you can see 99, 88 over here. Why is that bad on the nitrogen? That should be pretty good on the nitrogen. I'm not sure why this is 55 over here on this lot. Is it because I'm cutting the meadow grass? Well, we'll see what happens. I mean, 79, we're getting a 9% bonus right now, so that's not too bad. Yeah, so I think we're all set to just say goodbye to April. The horses, we're waiting to see what happens next month. If they're still stuck at 99, then that's because then I got a full horse stable. We'll sell one. Although the price now is, they're over 15,000, so I don't know when the max price for a horse is going to be. Interesting. And then, of course, yeah, all the greenhouses are doing fine on everything. Yep, we're ready to go to bed. Oh, yeah. Some people would mention after a while, you haven't fed Sam. There we go. Sam's been fed. All right, so with our loan payment and everything, we should be down to like about 90,000. Maybe 89,000. $87. All right, I can deal with that. Not much to do this month, but I will look at the sale page and yeah, nothing that we really need here at all. Man, imagine that. 51% off on a cotton harvester and it's still $409,000. And it's got 39 hours on it. That's ridiculous. Yeah, the horses... Reproduction went to 0. Huh? So wait a minute. If your stable is full and they go through a reproductive cycle and you don't have room, but you just don't get, they just don't stay 100%, I'm on the wrong side of the stable. It doesn't matter. It says 16 of 16. So I just lost in some way 8 horses because, well, all right then. I'm not too concerned about, like I said, buying a horse is what, like 500? I think I got to come over here for that. Yeah, over here. If I buy a horse, it's 500. What happened to your offspring? Or you may not be one that has the offspring. Yeah, you're only 21 months old, so yeah, you're not there yet. All right then. So now we just gotta, I guess, wait and see what the max value of the horses are gonna be. Now, I think someone told me in the base game, it's after they have their offspring and 1 month after. So next month should be the best price. We're at 15,620. Well, nothing else to do here. Hello, Sam. Nothing else to do here other than sleep, get to the month of June. We'll double check on the horses, see if the value went up or is it getting ready to go down. I don't know if it's going to go down or not. I have no idea. Money should be down around 67,000. Ooh, 63. Money's going down quick. But we got the lettuce, so that's the thing. You're not they're a cultivator, so we don't need you. A windrower, and no, we don't need any of that stuff. They're now worth 16,080. All right, well, we'll just keep them there. Value's going up. Oh, you know what I didn't do? Son of a... I got weeds to take care of. Completely forgot about the weeds. And the crop has grown. No, I'm a moron. Well, all right. Let's get the poppy planted, and I'll have to figure out the weeds. I don't think this tractor has an option for narrow tires. It may do. Where is it? The Deutz 8, right? Can I put narrow tires on this? How about if I put wheel weight standard twin wheels, narrow twin wheels? How much would that cost me? Like that'd be $6,000. Can I just do narrow tires for 1,000? Okay, we can put narrow tires on the Deutz, so I can take care of the weeds. So the first says how 8 horses, they're losing value. No, the value went up. The value went up overnight for the horses. Well, I don't want what I'm trying to do is I want the new horses, the newborns, and sell the adults when they get up to peak value. From what I remember, I thought the reproduction went up to 100% and stayed there if they had no room in the animal pen. But I really haven't done that in FS25 or paid attention. So basically, if you got a full stable, at least with horses, and they get the reproduction and they hit 100%, if you don't have the room, they just disappear. Which is kind of odd. Now, I did run mods in FS22 where you could not overstock the pen, but overfill the pen, and their happiness would go down. But at least it gave you a month or two to figure out what to do with the excess amount of animals that you had. Everything you're seeing is saying horses max values at 36 months. I think we're at 34. So this field here, we just bought this land last winter, plowed it up in March. And if you haven't seen poppy before, we did poppy last year, and it looks really good when the crop blooms, and you got a sea of red flowers just bouncing around everywhere. So on the horses, as for now, I'm just trying to figure a way around it. I'm interested, but I'm not too worried or concerned about if I don't get the offspring or not. Just trying to figure out how it all works is all. Because what I was going to do was, if they were sitting at 100%, I would just have sold one horse and see if I got the offspring right away. But, yeah, I guess, I'm guessing the way it's going to be is you get the offspring at midnight. So it's not going to be just sell a horse. I'm going to get, if another one is 100%, I'm going to get a colt running around. Yeah, I can't believe I completely forgot about doing the weeds. I got so tied up on the horses. But luckily I can put narrow tires on the 8TTV Deutz. I don't have to worry about weeds in this field because, yeah, we plowed it to create it. So no weeds in this field this year. So next time when it comes to the horses having offspring, maybe no, because that's not going to work the way I want it to either. I basically got to have another pen to move horses around in. So I think at this point we'll just raise the horses until they reach max value, sell them, and then we'll buy, the way we're currently going, 8 horses, because we got 2 sets of 8 basically. Has it been that way forever? I just never paid that much attention to it, I guess. So basically you're saying ever since they've had animals in the game, when they reproduce and get up to 100%, if you don't got room, they just get erased from existence. They just don't happen. And the cycle restarts. I may have done that test once before, but you play so many hours of a game, sometimes you forget what tests you have done and haven't done. This is going to be a very good field of poppy. We should get about $100,000 of poppy off of this field. Maybe even more than that. This field might be bigger than the one it was in last year. Oh, yeah, I also don't think I have a sea and spot weed sprayer on this series. I think I have it for Shamburgo, but I don't have one here, so I'll have to lease the sprayer. Yeah, so even this 11 meter wide drill, which usually is a good sized drill for the fields that we're starting to get, I may end up with the size drill that we had on Dark Forest. So as for our money, like I said, we were at what, 120, now we're down to 63. Just keep in mind our 3 greenhouses are producing lettuce at a decent rate where actually we make more money than what we're paying back on the loans and stuff per month. It's just that being the middle of summer is probably not the best time to be selling lettuce. So I'm going to try to go as long as I can, holding on to the lettuce until the price starts going back up. But it's going to be a while. I got enough money to get by for like another 3 months. Well, maybe 2, because I got to lease a sprayer and change out tires here. Got some precipitation coming in later on this afternoon, looks like. I was going to check to see if we had a twister for this year, but that was when I was back in March and April. Here we are in June. Poppy does seem to grow rather quick in the base game. Well, not the base game, in FS25 for the mod. Plant it in June, harvest it in like September. Hello, Crow Daddy. A good maybe Friday to you? Is it Friday there yet? I always forget how many hours ahead you are from where I'm at. Got a funny feeling I'm probably going to go over the next hour on leasing this thing. Although the more times I go around the field, the smaller the radius gets. Yeah, so we get this done. We'll empty out the drill. We will return it. Head on down to the store. Put narrow tires on this. Lease the See and Spot sprayer. Take care of the weeds. And then I guess it's on to July where harvest season begins. Talked about that earlier. Next Saloon Sim probably will be a recorded episode because I got told I'm just about done with it. So if I only got like an hour left into it, I don't want to stream just for an hour and then be like, okay, well, I guess that's it for the day. So I got to find time for it. Real life stuff gets in the way sometimes. So been rather busy with stuff. Hope I don't know if I'll get the chance to record this weekend. I'm going to try to record it over the weekend. Because I won't be streaming tomorrow. I kind of plan to be back on Saturday streaming, but it all depends how tomorrow goes. But on Saturday, I might be looking at another game that comes out next week. I think it comes out next week. But I got to play a little bit of it myself before I decide if I'm going to stream it on Saturday. If I don't stream that, I need to get back into Roadcraft because I want to make sure that when September rolls around, which, you know, seems like it's a ways off, but, I mean, heck, we're already halfway through July. I got to make sure that I'm pretty much done with what Roadcraft has to offer before the DLC comes out. And I'm not even on the last map yet, which I'm told is a beast to work on, so I need to get back into that at some point. But I don't have a definitive answer on when will the next Saloon Sim will be done. But hopefully I'll get a chance to record it over the weekend. If I do, then it'll probably get released on Tuesday. Yeah, that'd probably be right. And just realized also next week, I might be gone for a couple days next week as well, so... Oh, man. I hate when real life gets in the way of gaming. But I'm also very lucky to have gaming as my my job, so... Going through it looks like I'm going through quite a bit amount of seed with the poppy. Oh yeah, poppy being a modded crop, there's no variable seed rate, so I'm just using a base rate. And fertilizer, it looks like I'm going through quite a bit as well. We can see in the upper left-hand corner how much I'm putting in. So, yeah, looking at the way this drill... I mean, it's not taking me long to plant this field, but... it's pretty much all we've been doing so far this stream is planting. 11 meter wide for the 4 fields we got is getting to be on the small side. So a bigger planter drill in the future. So maybe something like the Big Roy and getting one of those drills again, although that cost a lot of cash. The Big Roy is not that expensive, but the direct drill would be. Dark Forest, that whole setup was like $1 million. Yeah, it sucks having responsibilities, doesn't Crow Daddy? Where you, I mean, if it's not your job, then you can't play that many hours. But I will say this though, because now I've been doing YouTube for a while now, streaming for like 8 or 9 months. Believe me, there are days where I got to record an episode or maybe stream, and it's like I really don't want to though. It's kind of like having your, you go out to dinner some night and it's like, oh, I get to have my favorite meal. And then you go out the next night and you get to have your favorite meal again and just start having your same favorite meal over and over again. And after a while, after about maybe a week, 10 days, you may start thinking, I don't want that today or tomorrow. I've had enough of that for a while. As much as I like playing games, I still get that part of me every once in a while where it's like, I don't want to do it today, so. But yeah, I'd still rather be doing this than other jobs I've had before. I mean, there's been a lot of games I've played in the last year. Some I've played for like 5 minutes. Other games I've played for maybe like a half hour that I never showed on the channel or streamed just because at first the game may seem like it's good. Then you get more into the game and you realize all the bugs and problems the game has. Or it's not as good as you thought it was. And it wouldn't be good content to do. Because some people may see like a content creator, I mean, just take my hours, like, oh, you just stream 4 or 5 hours a day and you make an occasional video. There's a lot of off-camera stuff that goes on. Too much of anything can be a chore. Yep. Even though it may be something you love the most, after a while you'll get bored and sick of it. And that's why it's good, like the last 2 days, streaming Eric's Home. I know it's not a lot of people that, come to this channel what they come here for. It's not their type of game. But streaming Eric's Home the last 2 days was a breath of fresh air for myself. Streaming that. One, it was a great game, in my opinion. Storyline, voice actors were very good. But I had a lot of fun with that. Derail Valley. I made episodes on that. I think it was Derail Valley. Derail Valley. Or was that Railroad? It's been like a couple years since I made a couple of episodes. May not have been that. May not have been Derail Valley. But, yeah, it's where you got to cut down some trees, lay down your own train tracks, get to like a sawmill, a coal mine or something. It's been years since It may not be the same game. That's what I'm thinking of. Even a survival type game I would like to get back into. I used to do those. I did Myst Survival. Things like Journey of Life, Force of Nature. I played a lot of Ark Survival Evolved before I started making YouTube videos. I mean, I do love my simulators, but it's starting to get to the point of running shops, per se. It's starting to get to be all the same type of game. It's just they're changing out what you're selling. So in the past 3 weeks, I got given keys to try out games for like gun shop simulator, pot shop simulator, just basically a store that sells certain material. Each one is its own game, but the concept is the same of opening a store, getting a cashier, and after you play enough of those games it's like it's just the same book but a different cover. Unless you added something completely different to it. Only thing with that game is top view games make you giddy. Yeah, it took me when I first started playing it, it took me a little bit to start to get used to it, but after a while it wasn't bad. It didn't bother me after a while. I adjusted it to it pretty quick. Because it's been a long time since I played a top view type of game myself. Schedule 1 is a game you might get a kick out of. I want to say maybe I heard of it, but that'd be all I could say about it is I heard of it, at most. Of course, the game I thought I'd be streaming this past spring even, or maybe at this point to this summer, but now I'm not sure if I'll ever get to, is Farmers Dynasty 2. I'm not... As much as I want that game to come out, I have no idea what's going on with that development team at all. Cache Cleaner Sim looks like fun. I think I got that game in my inventory somewhere. Schedule 1 is a fun version of Drug Dealer Sim. So that's probably why, if I did get that, I may not stream it. Only because of... So as a content creator, you get like an ad revenue score, if you will, by the content that you stream. So my score is rather high because I'm not a high risk for ad revenue. So if I start streaming stuff like drug dealers or showing a lot of blood and gore stuff on here, that could hurt my ad revenue in some way, shape, or form. I mean, if I was searching for a game to stream or something, and I like it, I'll stream it anyways. Well, I think I'm going to need to go fill this up with some seed here very soon. Starting to think this field is a lot bigger than the poppy field we had last year, just by how long it's taken me to get this field planted. The one thing I was thinking about last night, I was walking around the house with Eric's home, though, is I never got to shoot a poison dart. And throughout that whole thing, we didn't kill anyone. It was all sleeping darts and choking people out, but we didn't kill anyone. I've done bus simulators. Where people come on a bus and they pay their fare, you gotta give them change. But those videos didn't really do that well. And, you know, for the first hour or two, the bus sim games were fun and entertaining, but then it seemed to be like I didn't feel engulfed into the map or whatever at that time, I guess. It all kind of looked the same. All the streets started looking the same because I kept going around the same. Of course, I'm making bus stops, so I kept making the same stops. I mean, driving games, I mean, Farming Sim is kind of a little bit of driving in that. I do ATS, of course, and SnowRunner, Roadcraft, that's driving around, but that's really kind of building up stuff. Yeah, this is going to be a huge field of poppy, I think. So, maybe get more than 100 grand of poppy off this field. Although the soil type in this field here is it's not the greatest, but it's not bad either. It's kind of so-so. But it's not like the other field that we planted the corn in. I think that's like our best soil type field, I think. Try that with a mod on ETS where you drive a bus. I see those buses. Do you actually have to, does it simulate like picking up passengers at all? Or is it just like still driving from one city to another and you get paid? I mean, you're probably not really picking up passengers. It's just get from point A to point B. Alright, I definitely need some seed. Fertilizer, I might be able to get by. Alright, so like last time, if I back into the hut, it should register the seed first and load that up only. Yes. Alright, I'm going to forego on the fertilizer for now. Now, I remember talking about when plowing up this field that maybe in the future we'll divide this field up. Fern Bus is about the best bus sim. I think that was one of them I did. But again, it was like one episode or just a one-off episode on the bus sims. I just couldn't get into them. But it will be interesting to see what ATS has to offer when it comes out with drive-in like the pickup trucks. What do you call those again? And also maybe sports cars across country, if they ever do bring it to ATS. I mean, I think something like that will come to ATS. I don't think they would have made the announcement if they didn't think at the point of releasing that info that they wouldn't, that it wouldn't come out. I don't think it would say anything, but it looks like about maybe 4 more or 5 more passes, and the poppy will be planted. Still saying they're going to bring out a coach sim. I mean, they have everything that they need. Well, when I say they have everything that they need, they got a good starting point. They got a good engine to run it on. They got the maps. So either they're going to incorporate into the game they currently have, or just come out with a separate game for it altogether. Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's going to be... I mean, there's a lot of interesting games coming out in the future. And yeah, I've been cutting back on the Farm Sim 25 stuff just because, well, I mean, for the first 6 months, went into it very deeply, of course. And yep, here comes the bad weather. Here comes the hail. All this crop I just planted. Well, the other crop I planted a couple months ago, but yeah, so for next season here, boy, financially I'm not going to be set for that. Maybe lease something, but you know, I'm going to have to get something wider than 11. This is 11 meter wide drill. But again, I was planning to use the Case IH planter today, but I didn't know I already had this leased. So ended up having enough fertilizer to finish this field off. Got more than enough seed. Don't think I've gone over the second hour yet. As that's folding up, let me just have a quick look here. I know my tractor is still driving. Let's see where I'm at on the hour meter. 1.9 hours. Don't turn that on again. Could cost me $2,000 if I turn it on for even a second right now. All right, let's go ahead and unload this seed and fertilizer. Let's go ahead and return that, even though I'm going down to the store right now. Return. All right, I need sprayers. I need the See and Spot spray. We need to lease that. And I need my narrow tires. Luckily the sunflower, I think the sunflower is still in the first growth stage, but the corn, I think the corn's in the second. Hey, we also have a peek at our oak trees down here. We saw them in March. Maybe April. Yeah, I think April we saw them in. They're hiding on the other side of those trees. I don't think, I don't think they've hit the second growth stage yet. Where is the repair shop around here? Oh, out back. All right. So we need to customize Trelleborg. Narrow tires for 1,000. All right. Oak trees are just a little over 2 years to grow. It's been like 15 months at this point. Somewhere around this time next year, they should be all set. We'll go have another. We'll go have a closer look at them. And also, while I'm going right past here, let's top off with some diesel. Forgot how many we actually planted here. But it's going to be enough to keep that sawmill going for a while. Well, in due time. Let's go take care of some weeds. It's nice to be able to see our farm from one side, looking over. I want to somehow incorporate that little pond over there to our farm somehow, but I'm not sure what to do with it just yet. Oak trees are the best tree to plant. There are a couple of other trees I think grow just a tiny bit quicker, not that much quicker. But you don't get the amount of liters of wood as you do from the oak trees. The oak trees, by far, are the best thing to be planting. I think lodgepole pine might grow a tiny bit faster. But they give nowhere near as much wood. And no, I'm not putting the fish back in. We did the fish on Dark Forest. Try not to use the same modded stuff from one series to another if I can help myself. There are some things that we'll use over and over again. When it comes to implements, as like mods like the Fish Factory or the Crawfish. We kind of played that out on Dark Forest. So once I get these fields weeded, I think that does it for the month of June. But this will take a moment because the other field is rather decent size, but with a 28 meter, I think this is 28 meter wide, working with, or 24. Probably take me like 10 minutes or so. Just thinking about being in this tractor out in this field, taking care of the weeds while it's hailing out. What it must sound like inside that cab. Actually, we can go in the cab. I'm pretty sure it's not that quiet in real life in the cab when there's a hailstorm going on. Yeah, we did the fish farming on Dark Forest. I mean, you may be talking about a different mod or something, but we did fish farming on Dark Forest, along with the crawfish. I had to edit the XML file on that fish farm just to make a penny on it. I mean, we ended up making some decent money off of it, but the original mod, man, I was losing money left and right on that thing. Glad I tested that mod before I put it on. Put it on the map. I got told the same thing about the Butcher mod, that it loses money. So I haven't had a chance to look at that, so I'm holding off on, not that I'm ready for it in either one of my series, but I'll have to look into it before I even decide to use it. I think it's going to be hailing for quite a while. The forecast is not even showing any change. This shows hail and that's it. Just like how the way the weeds work in Precision Farming compared to the base game, it's not just constant weeds everywhere, it's randomized a little bit. Wonder if it may be a thing, but I wonder if working in the field while it's hailing out, is that damaging my equipment more than if I were to be, doing this while it was sunny out? Pretty sure I'm losing quite a bit amount of crop by the time this gets done. How long is it going to hail for, man? All the way until about 4 o'clock in the afternoon is what it's telling me. think I'm going to hire a worker to weed this field. It's going to be kind of hard for me to see where the weeds are because the crop has grown so much. So go that way. One headland's good enough. 3% overlap is fine. Better not be destroying crop by putting narrow tires on here. Alright, and then course play worker. Hello, Crazy Hillbilly. Welcome. Yeah, I don't think my tractor's actually taking damage in the hail. In real life, probably, yes. In FS25, probably not as much. Alright, so the horses, how are they doing? Oh, they're doing fine on feed. Alright. Straw and everything, they're doing good. Greenhouses, corn, I'll deactivate that, so we gotta wait until corn harvest. Water, manure, I guess I can top those off with some water while that's going on. And I don't think lettuce I want to sell, although the lettuce price still isn't that bad. It's still over 1,000. Well, let me make sure the greenhouse has got their water. This one should be fine. But apparently it wasn't taking it from the barrel as I left it. And the last of the greenhouses, as far as I'm concerned. And I'll leave that right there. Do I want to sell the lettuce? I think the price goes down all the way to September on lettuce. Let us see. Yeah, so I got 1, 2, 3 more months of the price going down before it starts climbing back up. So, and I can't, you know, I got about 2.5 more months worth of money. So let's go and sell the lettuce. And hopefully by the time I need to sell it again, the price will be going back up. And it'll be almost right where it is. I didn't approach this the right way. Yeah, I had a routine of emptying out the greenhouses, and we did it differently. Now, why did you start throwing it on terribly in the back? I don't know why, but it did, but you know what? It's all on there. So I did see the price was like a what, 1,000. We got 72,000 liters on here, plus our environmental score bonus. So probably get almost 80,000. So we should be up to $135,000 here in a little bit. Why so much lettuce? It's been a couple months since I sold any. And lettuce is about the best product to make in a greenhouse to make money. Eventually, as I said, we'll sell the greenhouses once the farm, I start making more money on the farm in other ways. But for now, lettuce is what's keeping the farm going. Once those oak trees have reached where they need to be, and we buy the sawmill, get the sawmill up and going, that'll be good. I mean, there's so many different ways to make money in this game, but I'm trying to stay away from having production buildings just everywhere, because I usually end up doing that anyways. But like some people wanted, they wanted a series where we didn't have any production buildings and just went at a slower pace, which I'm fine with. But I do have, the original loan I took out for this farm was $3 million. And with the enhanced loan system, I'm paying roughly like $18,000 a month back on that loan. So every month $18,000 goes towards the bank. And plus with property maintenance and all that, about $20,000 a month at midnight I'm paying some fees. So the lettuce offsets that. It also helps us earn a little bit extra money so we can also expand while we're waiting to pay back and try to earn money elsewhere. The horses, I haven't even earned a penny on the horses yet. The stable alone was $250,000. I mean, I'm not going to get my money back on the horses, but we're just having the horses here just because, why not? I originally just had the one greenhouse, but then once I started seeing financially how the farm was going, I put down a second one. The second greenhouse pretty much made us break even, and I wasn't really gaining any headway, so the third greenhouse went in. And now we've been able to expand a little bit in the past year. Good night, John. Appreciate you being here. Again, no stream tomorrow. Tomorrow there will be an episode of Transport Fever 2. I expect to be back here Saturday, but that all depends on how tomorrow goes for me, so. And if I am here Saturday, I have no idea what I'm streaming as of yet. But appreciate you being here. Enjoy the rest of your Thursday. Have a good Friday, and hopefully I'll see you on Saturday. Greenhouses are cheap. Greenhouses are pretty much a crutch for a farm, really. Let me ride in cab so I don't have to listen to that flipping hail. It's been like hailing and raining this entire stream. And we started in March. Yeah, I'm pretty sure in an old Ford tractor like this, it's not going to be this quiet in the cab while it's hailing outside. It's too bad you can't really see like the hail bouncing off of the tractor itself. I think we can see it bouncing on the ground, but not the tractor. Imagine if they added to where the hail can crack your windshield. You should try doing a farm where it's nothing but greenhouses, thousands of them. That would not be entertaining at all, really. Because all the product you can put on direct sell. I think someone, it may have been Mr. Sealy P, did that back in FS 22. Did nothing but greenhouses or solar panels and all that. And within like 5 years, even though he kept buying stuff, more greenhouses and such, I think he had like $10 million. I mean, I understand the concept and the idea that you have there, but it would not be nothing to watch other than watching someone take a tractor with I'd probably use Omatana's barrel that holds 200,000 liters and just keep topping off the greenhouses, making sure they got water. Put the lettuce on direct sell and just repeat it over and over and over again. You definitely make more than enough money. But these greenhouses here, you can add manure to them, which also increases the output of the lettuce. That's why we get so much. How are we doing on the weeds here? Yeah, I'm glad I got a worker to do this because I wouldn't be able to see the weeds that well. The corn has grown so much. Let's see how we're doing. Let's see, I need to go to... Yeah, there's got a few more passes to go. I'm not sure why when I get here. Since the last update for precision farming, it added this, and I don't have a field in this area, so I don't know why it says needs plowing in there. There never has been a field there that I know of, and there isn't one there. Alright, Crow Daddy, get a good night's, or a good morning's rest, good night's rest, and enjoy your start of the weekend. It is showing me weeds inside the horse stable, which is kind of odd because that's meadow grass. It doesn't show me weeds over here in the meadow grass. Yeah, a few more passes on this and the spraying of weeds will be done. So yeah, on the horses, in case you missed it, well, if you don't have space for the offspring, it just recycles. So you kind of lose the offspring in a way if you don't have space. So But the horse's value is now up to 16,080. The price is still going up on them. I think we're reaching the max price. I think someone said 30. I thought they said 34 or 36 months. I don't remember. But if that's the case, we're getting awfully close. Again, I am using a mod that increases the value of the horses. So if you're like, oh, I thought it was 5,000 for horses, it probably is in the base game. At least that's what I was told for FS25, which is that's the way it was in FS22. But with the mod on the Mod Hub, which I believe it's available for all platforms, you can see we're getting right now 16,000 for horses. That price has been going up. So we'll see what the value is in a little bit. I think we got 2 more passes with this. And yep, we lost some corn there because of all the hail. Again, it's going to hail most of the day here. It's been hailing all day since we pretty much woke up. It's not going to stop until, well, now it looks like 3 o'clock it may stop. July looks good for harvesting, which is good. And then September, October are going to be peak. And it looks like rain for those months there. So hopefully it's not going to rain all day. It's been rather a wet season. Did I check the sale page? Yes, I did. I remember this stuff. Yeah, so another thing I was going to look at while that's finishing up. Let me go see how much is the Ford that we have worth. 75. So that would give me like 200,000. That's not enough. Because I was thinking about going with the big Roy. I mean, getting a 600 horsepower tractor for 220,000. This is what we currently have. That's 360 horse. Yeah, this tractor, unfortunately, with a manual shift, that's going to be manual shift, and this is going to be manual shift. What is this one going to be? That's a power shift. But the price is more than double for 600 horse, and base price, that's 583. If I want the 665, it's going to bump the price up to 565,000. That's like two big Roys. What's that tractor got for horsepower? That's a power shift tractor. Yeah, they must have fixed the stickers. I remember when the Plains and Prairie pack came out, I didn't see that on here. And someone said it had something to do with the color mod. I don't think the color mod got updated, but I think the Plains and Prairie pack did. So we got the stickers back. That would not be a bad tractor to swap out the Ford with. The worker is done. Yep, all the weeds are gone. Except for the one in the horse stable, which I did not know we had, but so be it. I don't know. I want to keep the Ford tractor because I like it. I like the sounds of it. I like everything about it. It's just not performing that well working in the fields. The only thing it is doing still a pretty good job of is grain transportation. So when we do the harvesting, it's doing exactly what it needs to be doing. But as for using it, because it has 100 more horsepower than this Deutz, I thought it would be our workhorse in the field. It's just not performing that well there. Okay, so we got to return, no, not farmland. Vehicles, return the sprayer. And it's nice to have the narrow tire option now, but let's go put our BKT wide tires back on. We got our handy dandy little toolbox over here. Customize BKTs, and should be just the wide tires. Yes, no charge because we've already had them on here. I don't put the weights on anymore. I usually like wide tires with weights, but now with the ground deformation, having weights on just means I'll sink into the ground more, and that is what we don't want to be doing anymore. You want to turn that tractor off? There you go. Yeah, greenhouses are all set. What am I growing in here? Oh, sunflowers. And I planted sunflowers. Of course I did. Let's get rid of this hail by sleeping. Whatever hail damage we got is what we got. Not much we can do about it. Alright. Well, at least the sun's out. Our oats should be ready for harvest. Corn's looking good. You can see our poppy field has grown, which, you know, no surprise there when it comes to it. But that is what the poppy looks like in the first growth stage, if you're wondering. If you haven't seen it when it blossoms, you might want to catch the next stream of New Hope when we get to it. It's going to be a sea of red flowers everywhere. There is our corn. I'm pretty sure the sunflowers are looking good. Oh yeah, the horses. 16,540. So the value went up again. I don't know how far the price goes up on the horses with that mod. Sunflowers looking good. And yes, the oats are ready for harvest. Sale page. There's not much in there, is there? A forage harvester header. And that's it. That's right. My combine's over here now. In this shed. So let's go grab that. Yeah, I'll feed Sam while I'm thinking about it. And there he goes. Off to his food bowl. Alright, so at least we don't have any rain or hail this month. Let's go get those oats harvested. Welcome back, Denard. Hope your visit to the doctor went well. Oh wow, I can see 3 spots in the oat field from the hail damage. So again, don't want to be selling any lettuce or anything like that for a while now. Price is going to be rather bad moving forward. Actually, if I were to just look at the lettuce price this month, probably below 1,000 at this point. Yeah, it is. So we'll try to hold out as long as we can on that. Am I chopping or swathing the straw right now? What's happening here? It's chopping it. We want to swath it. So the oats, we're keeping for the horses. Sunflowers, as I said, that'll be sold as is. The corn, we'll go into the corn dryer for dry corn. We'll sell the dry corn. And the poppy will be sold as is as well. So that's what we got to harvest this year. It was good in and out. I'll just leave it at that. There's so many things I could say, but I won't. Hello, Farmer Brian. Thanks for dropping on in today. So as for the month of July, I guess the only thing I got to do is, well, harvest the oats and I suppose bale up the straw that we're getting. Gonna have a look at my poppy field to see how much hail damage we got for. Let's see, how long did it hail for? Like about 7 hours last month. That was terrible. Well, being that we're already half full, I think we'll unload the combine before we go back around again. All right, this is where we get the Ford. Sounds like the Ford goes through about the first 5 or 6 gears in a matter of a second or two. So I'll probably top off the horses with some oats, but they're not going to take a whole lot, are they? No, they're not. They only take about 5,000 liters of oats before the trough is full. Alright, so I might be able to go around the field 2 more times before it needs to be unloaded. Actually, probably just 1 more headland, then let's go up and down. It's not that big of a field for this combine, but the poppy field and the corn field that we'll have later on, those are the big fields that we currently have. This should get our horses by for a couple more years. So I'm not really sure I know what the peak price of the horses will be with the mod that we're running. Maybe the price just goes up every month. Maybe it doesn't stop. So maybe our horses could be like 40 months, 60 months, 80 months old, and the price just keeps going up. I'm not sure how the mod works. When I downloaded it, the day I actually started this series, I was starting this series with horses not having that mod in mind because it wasn't out. When that mod came out weeks ago, it didn't really say, it just says increases the value of horses. It didn't say to what extent. Feels kind of weird this morning when we started the stream. None of these fields were planted. Now already we're harvesting them. Well, at least this one. Now the horses we don't have much maintenance to do with. Horses are rather simple to take care of, at least with the stable that we have. Feed trough lasts quite a while. And really the greenhouses, they got good storage for water and manure. We don't have to worry about them too often. Like every 3 or 4 months, it's like, yeah, let's go make sure they got water and everything's all set. So really with not production buildings to look after and animals to look after, we're just zipping on through the months. After we get done harvesting this, though, I want to check on the poppy field to see how much hail damage it took. And also I want to look at our oak trees to see if they've reached the second growth stage. Alright, so I got the bug again without being able to see the crop in the combine. And I have not been anywhere near Omatana's silo as far as I'm concerned. Again, if you get this bug, just save your game, go back to the main menu, reload the save game, and it should fix itself. Always fixes it for me. Alright, let's go unload the combine, even though we don't see it, but it's there. Oh, don't unload. You're not really over the trailer yet. Alright, now you can unload. I think someone said they get the same problem once in a while with an auger wagon where the crop does not show. I don't really use auger wagons, so I can't see if that's true or not. I have not experienced it. And hopefully I can get the rest in one more pass, which I think we will. Actually, I'm probably not going to even bother topping off the horse stable. I'm just going to go bring it to the silo. For 5,000 liters, not really worth it. I mean, they're right there, but backing up, unloading it just to put 5,000 liters of oats in. Actually, I could probably just drive the combine over, because I'm going to have 4,000 liters of oats, so I'll probably just do that. If it'll take it directly, which it will. Yeah, bounced out of the trigger. That's all I did. Good, they took it all. Alright, bring this back around to the farmyard, because it won't. This header won't be needed until the poppy is ready. Yep, got kind of lucky with this combine. Day one, someone mentioned, oh, check the sale page. And we checked the sale page, and this combine was sitting in there for like 50 some odd % off. Getting a big combine on day one was not my plan. But now here we are. So the other 22,000 liters can go into the silo. Surprised none of the horses are running to the pond. They usually do. That should be, along with what I already had in there, was like Well, I can just check here, actually. Let's just do it that way. It'd be easier. I think I got 60,000 liters at this point. Yeah, that should be good for a couple of years. All right, let's go and check. Or get the drone up in the air, as some people say. Do I have any crop damage in my poppy field from the hail? No, I do not. Don't see anything for hail damage there. We got hail damage in the cornfield. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 spots of hail damage there. Sunflowers did not get touched. We have 4 spots in the oat field. It's kind of random, isn't it? So it's like there might have been strips of damage, strips there, but nothing in the poppy and sunflower field. But then the cornfield got hit pretty good. Yeah, this spot over here, I'd like to do something with it at some point. We don't own the land yet. Not sure what I would do over here. Part of me is thinking, because I am doing cereal grain here and there, I may not be... I'm thinking maybe putting like a small chicken pen up here. And just feeding some chickens over here. That way, at least we're coming over here and seeing some of... I guess I call it a pond. It's probably big enough to be a pond. Let's go ahead and zip on down to where our trees are. We did check on them last month, but let's see what they're doing this month. And yeah, it looks like they have not grown yet still. So these trees here, this is not our field, by the way. But this lot of land is. Yeah, well, eventually we'll be buying ourselves this sawmill for $150,000. And I'm not sure how I'm going to drag them or bring them down here yet. I may just bring them down with the telehandler. Cut them to whatever the telehandler can lift up. We could use the winch system. Not sure which one I want to use yet. I want to try to do it somewhat differently, the way we've been doing wood before. But we'll just have to wait and see how I'm doing financially at that point. But yeah, I think that's where I'm going to wrap it up for today. Got the first harvest done, and of course we'll be doing the next 3 harvests next time. Not sure when I'll be back here on New Hope. I can't even figure out what I'm doing in the next couple of days, to be honest with you. Tomorrow I'll be out of town, so no stream tomorrow, but there will be an episode of Transport Fever 2, which already got uploaded. I just got to post it. Saturday I plan to be back here to stream, but all depends on how my day goes tomorrow. Sunday I don't stream because I got to record episodes of Shamburgo, get that out, and then I'll be streaming again on Monday, I do believe. But I'll be streaming those days on Saturday and Monday. Not too sure. First off, I got to get through tomorrow. That's the big thing for me. Get by tomorrow, and then I'll see where I'm at. And then Saturday, I could be streaming. Well, it might slight chance it might be Roadcraft, but there's a game I got a key given to me yesterday. It looks interesting. I haven't played it yet, so I don't know. I don't want to say too much about it. I don't want to say, oh, I'm going to test it out, and if they don't see it, be like, oh, then that game must be not good. So I don't want to mention the name, but I'm going to just play a little bit of it. I may stream it on Saturday because that game comes out next week. And yeah, if you didn't miss it and you were like interested in Eric's Home, we did finish up that yesterday. Actually, took me 2 streams to do that whole storyline gameplay, and it was I enjoyed it very much. But as for today here in New Hope, we did pretty good. We started in March. We planted all 4 fields. We got the poppy planted there, corn, sunflower. We had oats there, but we just harvested that. So that's pretty much what we did today. Planted and then started harvesting. And the horses' prices are going up. And I learned that when they have offspring, and if you don't have room for them, well, the offspring comes and goes and the cycle restarts. So, yeah, there's that. Not a big deal to me. I'm just trying to learn on the horses a little bit for FS25. I haven't done horses since Solyndra in 22, so it's been a couple of years. But anyways, I'm going to jump out of here. Appreciate everyone being here for a little bit of farming today. Enjoy the rest of your Thursday. Have a good Friday. And yeah, hopefully I'll see you on Saturday. But until then, have a good one.